Thanks for tuning in to this week's news recap. Micheal Saylor is no longer MicroStrategy CEO. Bitcoin maximalist Micheal Saylor stepped down as MicroStrategy CEO after leading the company for over 3 decades. The news was dropped last Tuesday as the company released its Q2 earnings report. At that time, MicroStrategy reported a $918 million unrealized loss in Q2 from its Bitcoin holdings. The firm holds 129,699 BTC, which were bought at an average price of $30,664. Mr. Saylor will be serving as executive chairman and will be replaced by Phong Le, the previous president of the company. It looks like Saylor wants to go full-time on Bitcoin. As executive chairman, I will be able to focus more on our Bitcoin acquisition strategy and related Bitcoin advocacy initiatives, while Phong will be empowered as CEO to manage overall corporate operations, said Saylor. Even though some people were concerned that MicroStrategy would dump its BTC when Saylor was no longer CEO, it seems that's hardly the case, since Saylor has 68% voting ownership and his Bitcoin conviction remains unchanged. It appears that the market took Saylor's resignation as positive news. MicroStrategy stock has risen almost 15% since the time of the announcement, followed by an increase in BTC and crypto prices in general. The Solana ecosystem suffered another hack. Aside from the Nomad exploit discussed earlier in the show, there was another important attack within the Solana ecosystem, which affected more than 10,000 users and drained more than $6 million worth of crypto tokens. Thursday morning, users in Solana started to report that their accounts were being drained, with their balances going to zero. The funds from these wallets were being sent to 4 different accounts, allegedly ones belonging to the hackers. The vulnerability appears to have been in Slope, a mobile wallet application. After an investigation by developers, ecosystem teams, and security auditors, it appears affected addresses were at one point created, imported, or used in Slope, tweeted the Solana status account, adding, "Private key information was inadvertently transmitted to an application monitoring service. There is no evidence the Solana protocol or its cryptography was compromised." The incident prompted criticism of Solana. All the problems with Terra 1 and Solana should really be a wake-up call. DeFi has drifted away from cypherpunk principles. Everyone is just trying to get rich fast with no conscience, unpublished code, security by obscurity, centralized interventions to prop up bad designs, etc., wrote Gabriel Shapiro of Delphi Digital. Slope has also launched a bounty program to recuperate the stolen assets. They asked the hackers to return 90% of the funds. After stating that the team was working with blockchain analytics firm TRM and law enforcement, it continued, "Upon the receipts of these funds, we will not make additional efforts to investigate this matter or pursue any legal action." Institutions are coming. Will this be good or bad news for crypto? Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the United States, had 2 big announcements this week. First, it is now offering Ethereum staking to institutional investors in the US through Coinbase Prime, the firm's institution-focused arm. Using our industry-leading cold storage, clients can now generate yield by staking ETH, said Aaron Schnark, vice president of product. Whether this is good or bad for ETH is an open question. On the one hand, there's a threat that Ethereum becomes more centralized, as Coinbase will act as a custodian for all these institutions. This means that it will own the private keys to all the staked tokens. After seeing the ripple effects that could arise from centralized companies not being responsible enough with other people's holdings, it shouldn't come as a surprise that there are some concerns about Coinbase owning such a large amount of assets. The second announcement could have an even larger impact. BlackRock will begin offering crypto investments to its institutional clients through Coinbase Prime. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager, with $10 trillion in assets under management, and this marks its first move into crypto. Clients of BlackRock's investment platform Aladdin will have direct access to crypto. After the news broke, Coinbase stock rose as much as 35% and trading had to be temporarily halted. Coin stock is now trading at around $100, accounting for a 20% increase since the announcement. As was the case with ETH staking through Coinbase, whether BlackRock's move is beneficial for crypto is a matter of debate. Coinbase is obviously one of the biggest winners. In addition, it could potentially be positive for crypto investors as it creates a path for big money to enter crypto, which could push up prices. Based on ARK's simulated portfolios, institutional allocations between 2.5% and 6.5% could impact Bitcoin's price by $200,000 and $500,000 respectively. However, the centralization issue arises again. Soon, BlackRock will control crypto just like they already control the stock market, said someone on Twitter. Considering the fact that BlackRock manages $10 trillion in assets under management, the danger is that it becomes a major holder of BTC and other crypto assets, making them much more centralized, which is not the cypherpunk way. Tornado Cash addresses sanctioned by OFAC. The U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, or OFAC, decided to sanction virtual currency mixer Tornado Cash for being used to launder more than $7 billion worth of virtual currency since its creation in 2019. In addition, the U.S. Treasury claims that Tornado Cash has been used by North Korean group Lazarus, which has been behind many of the latest crypto hacks, including the $600 million Ronin exploit. The addresses of Tornado Cash were added to a blacklist by OFAC. As a consequence, all Americans are now prohibited from interacting with Tornado Cash or any of the addresses on the blacklist. Coin Center released a statement saying, "Today's action does not seem so much a sanction against a person or entity with agency. It appears instead to be the sanctioning of a tool that is neutral in character and that can be put to good or bad uses like any other technology." In other regulatory news, last Wednesday, a bipartisan bill was introduced by the Senate Agricultural Committee with the intention to make the CFTC the primary regulator of the cryptocurrency industry. The Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act of 2022 would grant the CFTC exclusive jurisdiction over crypto. Importantly, it would consider some cryptos like BTC and ETH as commodities, not securities, which would put an end to a long debate on that topic. There were other enforcement actions this week. Forsage founders were charged for an alleged $300 million pyramid and Ponzi scheme by the Securities and Exchange Commission, and they alleged that it had been running for more than 2 years. Rounding out regulation news, New York regulators fined Robinhood's crypto division with a $30 million penalty for violating anti-money laundering rules and failing to provide cybersecurity measures on its platform. Time for fun bits. A DAO is sending people to the moon. A decentralized autonomous organization called MoonDAO sent someone to space last Thursday. MoonDAO's mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing colony on the moon to act as a launch point for humanity to explore the cosmos. As if Earth wasn't close enough. The person chosen by the DAO to go to the moon was Kobe Cotton, a member of Dude Perfect, a YouTube trick shot group. The DAO purchased 2 tickets with Blue Origin, the aerospace company founded by Jeff Bezos, using $8 million it had crowdfunded. The DAO has already used the first ticket, but still has one left. The second lucky DAO member to go to outer space will be randomly chosen. The roadmap of MoonDAO indicates that after sending a DAO member to the moon and putting a MoonDAO colony on the moon, it intends to have parties on the moon. Thanks so much for joining us today. To learn more about the Nomad Hack, Lane, and Connects network, check out the show notes for this episode. Want to keep up with the biggest news plus market updates in crypto? Get the Unchained daily newsletter in your inbox every weekday morning. Visit unchainedpodcast.com to subscribe. Unchained is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Anthony Yoon, Matt Pilchard, Juan Aranovich, Pam Majumdar, Shashank, and CLK Transcription. Thanks for listening.